All attendees are in listen-only mode. I don't want that. Hello, everybody. This is supposed to be a happy hour. Most people see each other, and unfortunately, it is not set up that way. And so I am going to unmute everyone if I can. This just to say hello. Or I think you might be able to unmute yourself, but I'm going to unmute all. Say yes, unmute all. And so let's take a look. I see some people have been unmuted.
Hello, Dave.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Hey,
Dave.
Dave. Hello.
Hello, it's Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, Dave. Good to see you.
I wish I could see everybody. Sorry that we can't.
Hi, Dave. It's Paul. How are you?
Hey, Paul. I wish I could see you.
Well, maybe not.
Some don't want to be seen, right? So, guys, this is happy hour. Right? I want everyone's microphone to be open. I want everyone to share a drink. This has been a crazy, ridiculous, hard, trying, stressful, anxiety-ridden year, right? And we're about to come to a close. And so I think if we ever needed a happy hour, we could use a happy hour now. I am still at the office. It's been a long week, but so I'm at happy hour. I'll raise my glass to everybody. It's only water for me because I still have to drive home. But happy hour, happy drinks, happy Friday, happy almost to a close of 2020 this year. And so I don't want this to be formal. I want us to enjoy questions and answers with our guest today, who I haven't introduced yet. I'm not going to introduce myself. If you guys don't know me, real quickly, my name is Dave Gallagher. I'm CEO and owner of Capture Integration. We are an Atlanta-based, high-end specialized reseller of the finest goods in photography that has made. My wife likes to say we sell the toys that make men weak in the knees when it comes to photography, and it always has stuck with me because gear is my thing, and it does. I look at a camera still and I drool today, and I still it's amazing to see the effect that it still has me. So I think once a gearhead, always a gearhead. But we're not here to talk to me and listen to me. So I wanted to introduce Olaf Sztaba. I got that right, Olaf?
Oh, it's right on, right on.
Olaf Sztaba. And so now if anyone ever had any question how to pronounce Sztaba, now you know how to pronounce Sztaba, which I learned as well today. Olaf, welcome. Thank you for coming and sharing happy hour with us today.
Oh, it's great to be here, and especially at the end of this particular year, I'm very thankful that you all found the time to join us, have a good time together, maybe talk about photography, what happened this year, but most importantly, about all the amazing things we are going to do next year. And I will start drinking to it right now.
Cheers. Cheers to finishing this year and cheers to next year. Completely agree. If ever I was looking forward to just a calendar year ending and a new one beginning, it's definitely this one. Even though it just is just a matter of time and means absolutely nothing mentally, sometimes it does. Right? All right, so I'm gonna share an image here quickly. All right, and then we'll start. I've got a big smile on my face. You'll see why in a second. Ah, there we go. All right. So Olaf, since this is a question and answer with Olaf today, all right, tell me, this images of you with a camera at that young age, when did your love of photography start?
Well, if this is how I looked back then, and this is how I look right now. Some of you may not get the connection, but those of you that have kids, you know that this gentleman, a friend of mine, his name is Olaf as well. So the first assignment for today is to watch the Disney Frozen.
You've got a lot more hair than he does, Olaf, so I'd be very happy with that comparison.
Why do you think I use it? Because I cheer myself up when my wife tells me, "Oh, what's happening out there, Olaf?"
All right, Olaf, so when did you find your love of photography?
Well, it's actually it's very difficult question to answer, and because of this particular image, when I was going through archives, our family photo archives, I found at least 10 images of me from about the age of 7 to 12, me playing with cameras. Don't get me wrong, these are not sort of beautiful machines Dave is selling. All the cameras that I was playing with, they were all plastic and none of them worked. My favorite camera from back then was the one, if you press the shutter button, the water would splash on people in front of me. So, but getting to your answer, to the answer to this question, uh, I had nobody in my family that was a photographer. So it's very strange that me at this very early stage, my favorite toy were cameras. In other words, I had this need as a child to look at the world through something, and in that case, through some kind of a box. For many, many years as a teenager, even my early adulthood, I wasn't a photographer. Yeah, I took some photos during family events, but there was nothing really that would tell me that one day I would become a photographer. But all these images, me as a kid, are quite telling that even this early, I like playing with cameras. We need to jump many, many years ahead. And 17 years ago, I will try to keep it very brief, but about 17 years ago, I had a life-changing event. I got very, very sick. I landed in hospital. I was fighting for my life about 6 months with the whole list of problems. And I reached the point when basically my wife was told, that's it, you need to find a new, hopefully more handsome and richer husband. She foolishly refused, and I somehow survived this ordeal. I left hospital uh, almost fully functioning, except that my kidneys didn't work. So for the next 3 years, I was on dialysis. And out of nowhere, there was this lady that showed up at my door, and her name is Madeleine. And she said, Olaf, I would like to donate your kidney. Well, as you can imagine, I was absolutely speechless. But um, without boring you with this long story, that was this defining moment in my life when I had to sit down and ask myself a very important question. Since I was born again, and actually this is good year to ask this question. Everybody should ask this question. What if you could be born again? What would you like to do with your life? That's what I faced with. And here I am, a photographer, editor, curator.
So literally, you had a moment where you said, "I'm going to change. I want to do what I've always loved," and you then became a photographer.
Yes. So it was back then. I was doing some market research, and I didn't enjoy this anymore. So the decision was to basically stop doing what I'm doing and put all my attention to becoming photographer, which is quite a suicidal thought. But I always thought that if I will set my mind, okay, Olaf, I will just try, I will never succeed. So I said to my wife, Kasia, I'm doing this. That's it. And that's how I started and became a photographer.
So where did you live when this picture was taken?
That picture was taken in Poland, communist Poland, probably in early 80s.
Early 80s
Yeah,
in communist Poland
yeah, yeah,
is where
yeah.
where you lived with your family.
That's correct. And as a teenager, my wife, well, at that point, she was my girlfriend, and her parents made decision to immigrate to Canada. We were slightly too young to disagree with this decision. So she had to go with her parents. For 3 years, we were exchanging letters. In fact, I wrote 2 letters per week for 3 years. So we had to wait 2 weeks to get letters from each other. And after 3 years of writing letters, which was very good exercise for my writing later on, although different topic, we made decision that I would come to Canada, and we met and we decided to get together, spend the rest of our lives together.
Wow. And so was it easy to get out of communist Poland at that time?
Well, at that point, it was communism collapsed. So it was early 90s in 89, as you know, the Berlin Wall collapsed, and then Poland was more open. It was easier to leave.
Wonderful. That was after Lech Walesa became president or not?
Yeah, that's about time. Yeah.
About that time? Okay. That it seems like there's a whole bunch of story in that. So you moved to Canada, and you've
Yeah.
been happily ever after in Canada with your wife since. Where in Canada do you live?
In Vancouver, that's where we settled for a few years. We moved to Calgary, and we moved back because that's where I got sick. So we moved back to Vancouver because our family is here, our friends are here. So that's where I live right now.
Awesome. Guys, I want to let everyone know, again, this is happy hour, right? So I want anyone to be able to ask a question if they choose. I will read the questions since it's not really easy for everyone to jump in and say hello or to ask. If you wanted to type a question, I'll ask Olaf the question myself, or if you want to raise your hand right near your name in your control panel, you should be able to put a hand and raise a hand, and I'll say, hey, Harold Ross, you've got a question, you want to talk, or hey, Jeffrey Lytell, you've got a question, would you like to ask that? Or I will do that if you wish. So again, don't hesitate to jump right in and say hello and ask a question. So of course, did you have a commercial photography job before?
No,
Did not.
but I had experience in business.
Mm-hmm.
My father ran business, and also when I came to Canada, obviously for the first few years I was working few jobs to make it to settle myself here. But I always wanted to have my own business. So at the point when I decided to become full-time photographer, I already had my own business, different business than photography. So I knew I had to kind of tackle it right on. I already have a portfolio. I started to build my personal brand, and few years later, I realized my dream of starting the magazine and going from there.
So you had the dream of starting the magazine. Had you had any experience in beginning and starting a magazine before this?
No,
None.
no.
So,
I love curation.
mhm.
I learned a lot about it, but basically it was studying and learning on the go. It was huge undertaking, but and please, I'm not taking credit only for this, because I have from the start I had the great team. Right now we have a bigger team, and they played a huge role in the success of the magazine. People like Steven Friedman, Sally Jennings, who is our editor, my wife Tasha, our designer. So I'm just basically making coffee and cleaning the office.
I love that. I'm sure that's not true. I know what that's like, and I'm sure that's not true. So let's get back and take a step back before, because we haven't talked about the magazine yet. But let's start with magazine. Most people probably know you from Medium Format Magazine. If they don't know Medium Format Magazine, maybe they know that the Get DPI connection after that. So let's go and start with the Medium Format Magazine. Your love of photography, your passion for photography, your curation, love and passion, and then why medium format? Did you see a need that wasn't being met out there in the marketplace?
That's a very good question. Thank you for asking. Why medium format has a personal part and business part. Personal part, when I was doing photography, each time I found the images by some photographers, for example, like Harold Ross, shot with medium format, I was just like, wow, one day I want to shoot medium format. I just absolutely love the look. Like, okay, let's not go there because people like to argue whether there is a medium format look or not. But let's use this phrase loosely, okay? I just absolutely love the look of medium format. I have to admit, I couldn't afford at that point medium format. Keep in mind that back then, I think the cheapest medium format camera was Pentax, was about 12,000, if I remember correctly. So for me, it was like, oh my God, there's a car, okay? So I couldn't afford it. But I knew I wanna shoot medium format one day. And then I got a medium format camera, and this is another truly remarkable story, because at that point I was running workshops around the world, mostly creative street photography workshops. So I built my clientele around it, and many of my clients, of my students, we become friends. I visited them at homes. We talk about lives, and I became a friend with amazing couple from California, and the gentleman name was Bob. So he became my client and a friend. We visited each other. And once I had a conversation with him that, you know what, I love medium format. I would love to shoot with one day, but I'm not in the position to buy one. So few months has passed. And one evening, my lovely wife, Kasia, and I were sitting on the couch watching a movie, and the telephone rang in the evening. So I thought, well, who could it be? So I pick up the phone, and it was Bob, my friend. And Bob said, Olaf, I was talking to my wife. I was thinking, and I know I love your photography. I love your passion. I have a deal for you. So I thought like, okay, I'm in trouble. Okay. So, and he said, I have been working on my life and shooting, and I want to buy you a medium format camera.
You're kidding.
No, no. He
What's
said,
Bob's name? I need friends like Bob.
Bob. Well, unfortunately, Bob passed away last year. Yeah, but that's what he said. So as you can imagine my reaction, you are not accustomed to receiving gifts like this from people.
No, that's wonderful.
My first reaction was, sorry, Bob, but I cannot accept such a gift. Well, 2 weeks has passed. Bob calling me again, and he's saying something along these lines. Olaf, I don't give a crap that you are not accepting my gift. I'm old. I don't have so much energy. I don't have your eyes, but I want to shoot with you. And you know how we're going to shoot together? You are going to shoot my camera with your eyes. How about the deal? So, at that point, I said yes. And I became an owner of my first medium format camera.
No kidding.
So it's an amazing story. But going back to your question, after I got my medium format camera, I wanted to learn about the medium format world. So I went to Amazon.com and I typed digital medium format. Guess how many books show up? And keep in mind, this is US Amazon. How many books show up?
No idea.
0. Film medium format, plenty of books. Digital, 0. There was not even one book about digital medium format. And then I started to look on the internet, and there were a few things here and there. And so there was some information, but all kind of all over the place. Some stuff was good, some stuff was really bad. And at this point, with my sort of passion for um, for publishing world, I always wanted to have a magazine, and that's another story, but I won't start it right now. I thought, okay, medium format, publishing world, photography. It cannot get better than this. Maybe my drink today, okay? But that was decision that I made. I put together a few people. We started to talk. We actually had a very interesting story with getting mediumformat.com URL, which I thought it was actually for sale for about $30,000.
Olaf, I almost bought mediumformat.com twice.
Well,
I don't think I've ever
want,
told you that, but it came very close to buying it. But yes, it was high, and it got a lot lower, but it was definitely manageable.
I
So
won't tell you how much I pay for it, because you would hate me to the rest of your life.
absolutely not, because I'm glad you have it. I'm glad you're successful with it, and we have this. So no, I would gladly let you have it for a steal.
But you know what's the story? What's really remarkable story, that my friend Tomasz, who runs two other magazines, Fuji Love and Frames magazine, the new magazine. I called Tomasz and I said, Tomasz, there's this domain. I want to buy it.
Mhm.
You won't believe what I'm going to tell you right now. In 2 days, Tomasz is calling me. My neighbor in Switzerland owns the domain.
Wow, no kidding.
So that's how it happened.
Awesome, awesome. Awesome. So how long has been medium format? And now if you can't tell, I'm showing some covers of mediumformat.com now. And so how long has it been running for now?
And it's a third year.
It's its third year.
Yeah.
Give me an update. Is it everything you thought it would be?
No, because I never thought we would get where we are today. It's truly remarkable. And again, I have to give credit to my team and all the amazing photographers that write for medium format, work with us. And I think it's no secret that at the beginning it was difficult. But right now, I'm very proud that we work with the best photographers in the world. You just showed the cover with our interview with Edward Bertinsky. Michael Kenna was here a few minutes ago. Harold Ross, amazing Harold Ross, writes for the magazine, and so many names. So if I haven't mentioned somebody, like it's because of the drink, not my bad memory. So I'm very happy where we are today, and I have to say we have even bigger plans going forward.
Well, I've always blamed that on the drink too, but my wife doesn't allow me to get away with it. So I'm not so sure we'll let you get away with it either. So Medium Format Magazine is a success, and it's going well. It's been 3 years in Medium Format Magazine. Then all of a sudden, a forum comes up for sale. So how did that come about, and what was your decision making on saying yes to that forum?
Okay, that's another story to tell.
That's why we're here, to tell stories.
But before I start, I'm just wondering if anybody has any questions, because everybody's tired. There are two options. I'm boring, or everybody had too much alcohol at this point. So what is it?
I think people are just quiet and being respectful. That's all, because you're
Oh,
telling
that's so
great
nice.
stories.
Yeah, but as you said, it's a cocktail, so I thought that other people would share something with us as well. But okay, let me answer this question before we party. Okay, what was the question? Sorry, Dave.
Media Format Magazine's going well. It's
Yeah.
turning out successful.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, then a forum online
Oh,
is
yes.
up for sale, that we have been a part of since the beginning. on our end here at Capture Integration. So how did that come about, and what led up to that in your decision making on purchasing Get DPI?
Well, I have to be 100% honest with you. Before, few people
Olaf,
pointed.
have you not been 100% honest before now?
Well, I have a shady record with that. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Of course I was. Of course, and I could be even too honest, but that's okay. So, with Get DPI, I was not aware of this website. Okay, a few years ago, but suddenly, as I was running with my team the medium format magazine, I got a few phone calls and emails. Olaf, Get DPI they are thinking to close Get DPI. And I said, like, but what is Get DPI? So I started to do research. I started to look at this, like, oh my gosh, this is like, we need to marry each other, okay, right now. This is a perfect fit for the magazine. So we had a conversation with a number of photographers because I wanted to get more information. I spoke with Stephen and Andrew and a few other great people. And at about after 2 weeks, it became absolutely clear that we need to make sure the Get DPI stays, continues. Not only this, but we make decision that we want to take it further, to build on what is already there. So I contacted Jack and Bob, and I said, listen, I'm running medium format magazine. I love what you do. You have this amazing photographers, this amazing content and community, and I think we would fit together very well. And the biggest request was, Olaf, we want to stay independent in the sense that we are not kind of connected with certain website or this sort of. I said, okay, no problem. I honestly, I didn't even wanted to merge both because I think we would destroy the idea of community. So I said, not a problem, but at the same time, I wanted to have a full control over Get DPI to make the changes needed to modernize the Get DPI, to build on it, to bring new people to Get DPI, and that's where we are today.
I can imagine. I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying. However, Get DPI was an old online forum full of incredible content. It must have, what was it like to say, I'm going to take that content and bring it over to new and update the forum? It seemed like it was a large task ahead of you, right? And it seemed daunting.
Yeah, well, I have to tell you, I had so many sleepless nights when we started doing this because the forum was run on old software, which wasn't updated for a long time. And we not only decided not to update the software but we decided to move it to completely new modern platform. So basically, I thought if we are going to do it, we are going to do it the best forum out there. There is no need to go halfways, to put plasters everywhere. So I contacted some people that I thought they are really good at what they do. And I said, here's what we need to do. I trust you. I know that you can do it well without losing data, without losing content. And of course, we had challenges. Of course, there were problems. But I am really happy that we overcome them all and updated it, move it to new platform, put a new design in, and introduce a number of features, and we are keep introducing them. So I think it was success. And I'm really looking forward to our next steps with Get DPI.
Well, I have to tell you, I 100% agree with the direction you chose, right? Yes, you could have put some Band-Aids on what was there already, and that would have been the easy fix to be able to move on, but it needed it needed a refreshing. It needed a new start when it comes to the old software and integration, and knowing that you can move forward in content in the future and expand upon it. So we did the same thing with our website, and it took us 2 years almost. But we completely started from scratch again. And I am thrilled the way it looks, and I'm thrilled again with Get TPI and what you've done with it. So great job, very great decisions. My company's been a part of it for a long time, and we appreciate the openness of the attendees and the truthfulness on that forum. It's always been unique to me with Get DPI versus other forums, that it's the real people that are on there. And excuse me, but knock on wood, it's the real people, right? With other forums online, you can log in and be whoever you want and make up fake names, and it's just, that's not what Get TPI is about. It's
Sorry,
real people
I'm
sharing.
sorry, I just lost the.
I'm trying to expand while you've lost, so it's okay if you can't hear me. And so I will show some more here of Olaf. Looks like we
Hello?
lost. Yep, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm sorry, I lost the sound for a few seconds.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I kept it going, right? I might have been
Yeah.
blabbing, but I kept it going. And so since you did that and all the hardships to go into it, can you tell me, to me, it seems like I agree, the marriage of mediumformat.com, Medium Format Magazine, and Get DPI seem like a good marriage, but Get DPI, right, it is also relatively an antiquated name. We don't really use what we used every day in our nomenclature on the print, right? When we don't do a lot of printing today, DPI, dots per inch for printing, isn't used that much. So is there going to be a marriage more of mediumformat.com and Medium Format Magazine and Get TPI? Are we going to see them come together as one possibly in the future?
Not as one, and not as one in terms of physical kind of contact that everything would be on one website, but we are going to introduce more changes to the forum. So the name was brought up many times. I will ask community about this idea. And we wanted to start with what was the most important, which we already discussed. So redesign, making sure everything works, it's easier to use, to bring new people. And once this is almost complete, next year we'll be tackling the name, introducing some content, which may come from the Medium Format magazine. And the simple reason is we want to attract more people to the forum. And one way to attract more people to the forum is offer them some extra content, some reason to have conversations, other than just what was there before. So we have plenty of plans, and some I can share, some I won't share because we are not sure whether we're going to do this. So answering your question, yes, there will be still many changes, but I don't think we are going to merge both sites, because that was the premise. We kind of took over the website, and that's what we agreed on.
So Harold Ross asked, the design of Medium Format Magazine is beautiful. How did the design come about?
It was painful. Okay, going back to my early days, you saw my photo as a boy, and even though in my family nobody was professional designer, but my mother always had I think, good taste and talent for design. And when I was a child, I didn't pay attention to it. It was even annoying. Let me give you an example. Each time my father was leaving for work, he would dress up in suit, and my mother, each time he would be at the door, would stop him like, no, 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 you cannot leave like this. This is not working. Your shoes are not working with this and this. As you can imagine, it drove my father absolutely crazy. The same with me. If I went somewhere to some important occasion, my mother always, no, 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 no. You need to change this, 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 this. at that point, I didn't understand this and I didn't appreciate it. But when I grew up and I started to pay attention to design, things around me, and I noticed that maybe I got it after my mom. I just love design. I love beautiful things. I was always interested why, for example, iPhone is well designed. You know, it's supposed to very simple device, but there is lots of thought into it. And the simpler the design, it's actually more difficult to achieve. So jumping to medium format magazine, when we were starting, we went to few libraries and bookstores, and we went through probably hundreds of magazines, and all photography magazines were basically looking similar. Lots of ads, lots of text, many graphics, text over images, all of it. And I thought that's something I just don't like it. It was too busy for me always. It was distracting. So we decided we want to start at something different that would not take away from this amazing photography that is in our magazine and editorials, okay? Because that's the second very important part. So we spent about 3-4 months with my team going through the design. And when you look at the magazine, you may think like, oh, Olaf, it looks simple. Well, that's my point, because the simplicity is so difficult to achieve. So we work really hard on it. We improve it, and there will be further improvements next year. But the look of the magazine was a product of really hard work and many decisions over long period of time. And even when we design each issue, we don't have any formula or pattern or something that we apply automatically. Each issue is designed by hand. What it means that we go through editorials very carefully, through the images, then we discuss where each image goes, how far from the edge, what's the impact, what type of images. So this is almost like a product made by hand.
Well, it's tremendous, and I agree. You let the words and the images speak for themselves, right? And that's what I think what jumps out at to me about the quality of the magazine is that I can look at this image and see how beautiful it is and zoom in, and it's simple, but it's the image that stands out. It's not constrained by anything else or distracted by anything else. So I think you're doing a great job, which brings us to the next one. So I'm switching over, and can you see what I have on the screen now, Olaf?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Well, yes. So this
So
is.
tell me how this now let me preface this. Medium format's going really well, right? You jump in and get DPI, and then this
Well,
pops out. So tell me how that you thought was missing out of mediumformat.com that now elements jumped out.
I wouldn't phrase missing. I would say right now when the medium format magazine is going really well and we love what we do, we have a bigger team, more resources, and I have plenty of conversation with landscape photographers, and let's face it, landscape is a genre that is quite connected to medium format, because I think two genres that medium photographers are in love with is portraiture and landscape. Okay, so we thought, can we look what is on the market, which are some really great magazines, but we thought, can we do something that would be something different in this genre, and it would elevate the entire genre. So I have a number of conversations, and I have to give credit to Steven Friedman, who is a landscape photographer. you know, like his knowledge of landscape photography and sense of it is absolutely, I have never met a person that knows more. So we started having conversations. Can we do a magazine that would be different from what is out there? And I'm emphasizing different, okay? I'm not saying better, but different. And very often landscape photography is associated with a certain look, okay? But let's say Edward Burtynsky, is he landscape photographer or not? Okay. Well, keep in mind that landscape could also be man-made, okay? That's, for example, if you photograph Canadian oil sands, this is a landscape, okay? It's not made by nature, by a man. And we
But
want to
still in.
include this. Yeah, and there is so-called fine art landscape, which you have a combination of landscape and elements done by people. And I think there's some really beautiful photography up there, like we had Jan Tove and others. And we thought we want to create a magazine that would be slightly different. It of course would be mostly focused on classical landscape photography, but the other kind of part of equation was that we would like to slightly step back from how can I graphical landscape photography. So in other words, we would like to connect with people that really capture images by mostly going out, being in the elements, in nature, and just doing some post-processing later, okay? So that's our focus, this connection to nature, to environment, to being out there with camera, because I have sometimes a sense that sometimes it's getting lost with all the tools that we have, and we can take sky from here, we can take this from here and combine everything together. I wanna say before somebody go after me, it's not that I'm against it, absolutely not. We have wonderful technology, but I think with our new magazine, we wanna kind of go back to the sources of landscape photography. And curation will be the key, the same as with medium format magazine. And we are very excited. I have to say that that we contacted many amazing photographers, and we already have on board Has Strand, Erin Babnik, Bruce Barnbaum, Christopher Burkett, Charles Kramer, and Michael Gordon, William Neal. So I could go on and on, but basically, I'm very proud that all these amazing names in landscape photography sign up with us. And I think I really urge all of you who love landscape photography to give us a chance, take a look, and I can assure you it's going to be a really beautiful product.
So one of the question is, since they are a part of this happy hour, is there any special inside discount on medium format magazine or Elements magazine for any of the attendees? So you're on the spot for that one in the future.
Well, of course there is. Like Dave, how could you ask this question? It's so rude, you know? No, I'm just kidding. No, of course. You know what was really embarrassing? I created special discount code, and I just forgot it. But it's but it's capture. It's capture 20, okay? But please don't use it because I wanna check, because I created this morning. I was occupied with everything, and I don't wanna give you wrong discount. But Dave, I hope you will be kind enough to share it on your website after this podcast.
Well, Olaf, do you want me to share it on my website for all of my clients to use? Do you want it just for the attendees to use? Do you
Yes,
want me to share capture 10? 10% off on my website, and capture 20 for all the attendees. You tell me what we'll do, but I'll do whatever you wish. Because honestly, Olaf, there's someone just asked the question: how did Medium Format Magazine, Get TPI, and Capture Integration start this triad marriage, and describe how that started? So this is a great move in, right, transition to that? I'll answer that real easily. Olaf reached out to us and asked us if we wanted to be exclusive sponsor. Looking at mediumformatmagazine.com and the quality that it had already shown, it was a really easy thought process. Get DPI, which we've been a member of, and my team and Steve Hendricks and Chris Snipes have been on for years and years, we started webinars and seminars and workshops with Jacking and Guy and Bob years and years ago. I can't count how many. So we've been an important part of that. So when Olaf reached out to us, I had to ask myself, where are we spending our marketing dollars this year? Why are we spending marketing dollars where we're spending marketing dollars? And if we could hit marketing dollars that is a target audience of exactly what we do, where would that be? Well, that just makes sense. This is exactly where I'd want to spend my targeted marketed dollars. And just on the money side, why would we not want to be associated with a high quality of both Medium Format Magazine and MediumFormat.com, along with where you've taken the transition to get TPI and what you've done with it? So we spoke about it as a team, and it was an easy yes for us. So that is my part of the answer. Olaf, I'll let you answer your part of that answer.
No, I think your answer is right on. It's like I want to say we really appreciate the support, and as most of our readers know, and some of you noticed, we don't have ads inside the magazine. And when we were starting Medium Format Magazine, we knew from the beginning that it's going to be very special presentation, and we didn't want it to have a partner or plaster entire magazine with ads, because that would destroy. And we were looking for partner who would understand this, who would have this first of all expertise about medium format, which there are not that many people in the world that have such extensive expertise, would sell gear that our readers should have, but also be respectful of the design of photography. So I think when we connected with each other, with Day and his team, and started to talk, I think it was pretty quick. It became apparent that this is the right partner for us, because we knew that we could do something together. We maybe even can bring some content together, but it wouldn't be the content like buy. It's like, I think our readers and medium format shooters are smart. They don't need to be like push over. I think they know very well places which take care of them, especially when you buy $40,000, $50,000 equipment. You don't want to go to, let's say, Amazon or some other place where, basically it's like once you are out of the door, that's it. Okay, that's it. I'm pretty sure that Dave and his team has a good deals, great deals. But I think when I speak with photographers, one thing that is the biggest, in my belief, mistake when buying gear, they want the cheapest price, in the sense that even somewhere they find it $10 cheaper, they will buy it. But the problem starts later, because first, sometimes you need people who would let you make the right decision. Okay. And that's very difficult to do, especially nowadays when you have this amazing gear. So they would show you the raw files, that would discuss with you what's your need, instead of just pushing, stuff at you. So we knew that capture integration works this way. That's why we thought, okay, that's a match for medium format. So yeah, I think the rest Dave described pretty well.
And it's interesting that we use the term medium format, and relatively large format we don't use anymore, right? Medium format is the new large format. There is no longer, other than a very select group of people shooting film 4x5 and larger out there, that is really select, right? That's not easy to do. And so even while that's difficult to shoot that large format film, medium format is the medium format, large format is as high as it gets, as good as it gets. And so I definitely understand why it's mediumformat.com and nothing more than, and the next one is Elements. And that we're looking forward to be a part of. So I can tell you what, we are extremely excited to be associated and be a part of the brand. It was again, it was a very easy decision on our end. Someone has asked, and I don't want to get too down, but with the pandemic and with a difficult 2020, what's the future, right? What's the future? We'll both answer that a little bit if you don't mind. When it comes to the future of high end, when it comes to the future of medium format digital, on our end, there will always be the highest quality gear. There's always a product that's in the highest quality of whatever range of product that you own, that you wear, that you drive. And so when it just is automatically sensical, right, that when it comes to capture, there will be a high-end medium format capture. There will be something that is always a head and shoulders above the rest, like there is products out there now. There's always going to be new products coming in, and historically, I have to tell you, when the Nikon D1 came out, and this was a long time ago, it was the medium format killer. When the Canon 5D was released, it was the medium format killer. There was all historically, year after every 2 years, every 2.5 years, a product that came out that said, this is what's finally going to kill medium format. And here we are 20 something years later, and medium format is still around, and of high quality, and other markets or other manufacturers have moved into it. Fujifilm has done a great job moving into medium format over the last 2 years. Uh-oh. Did we lose everybody? Steve, can okay, great.
I think we can still hear.
Still can hear? Just the
Yes, I'm here.
I can hear you. I can't see you.
okay. I
can't
just want to
see
make
you.
sure.
Yep.
As long as you guys can still hear, I'm not sure why the video has gone out for both of us, and it does show that the camera has gone out.
I can see Olaf, but I just can't see you, Dave.
Okay. It looks like maybe I have dropped my throughput
And
here.
I can't see Olaf or Dave.
It must be a Canadian connection. That's why I can see Olaf.
Okay. Well, so on my end of the future, to me, it's going to be there. There's always going to be behind the work. There's always going to be something for us there. When it comes to photography, more images are being captured today than ever before in the history of photography. When it comes to high end, when it comes to photography businesses, you still need to know how to light. You still need to know how to create. You still need to know how to compose. You still need to know how to make the customer comfortable in the situation. I've seen companies send writers out in the field to try to capture the images rather than sending a photographer, and those companies haven't been successful. And so I don't see it going away. I don't see the market changing other than evolving, and there will be a bigger separation, maybe from a good photographer to a great photographer. But the photography business is still going to be around. We're still going to be capturing high quality images. Olaf, over to you. What do you see as the future?
No, absolutely, I agree with you. And in fact, I think one of the biggest stories in photography the last few years is iPhone and development of computational photography. But some people come to me and say like, oh, all photography will be gone. Like quite the opposite, because I 100% agree with Dave that if anything will happen, what will happen, all those lower sort of formats, smaller formats, like even APC format, probably in few years is going to be challenged by iPhone. But you will always have these people that are absolutely passionate about photography. And you know what? Yes, this is about image quality. And that's why I love medium format so much. But it's also about experience. When I talk to photographers that that talk about medium large format. This is this experience of going out with gear, setting up the tripod, thinking very carefully before you press the button, having this this entire experience is very important, and you cannot replicate it with a cell phone. So image quality plus experience plus, of course, reproduction. I think in recently when Fujifilm was launching GFX 100, they used the word archives, okay, archives. And yes, we are very happy with image quality we get some from cameras, but I faced the situation when I almost died. And when you're in a situation like this, what would you really want to have is to have an image of the loved ones, okay? And I never understand why people who even have amazing gear, when let's say they photograph their spouse or children or grandparents, they do it with iPhone and kind of dismiss it. If I have a 1,000,000 megapixel camera, I would like to photograph people I love first because I want to archive this for generation to come. I want to make these huge prints. I want to see the shine in the eye when people fall in love. My grandparents, I want to see the wrinkles on the skin. And I'm sorry, but you won't do it with iPhone, okay? And most likely these images will be gone very quickly. So medium format, medium format for professional photography, yes, but I believe that medium format always has a place as some kind of archival medium.
Completely agree. If you need to save, if you want to create that image that is your iconic image, if you want to reproduce or archive, you're not doing that with low quality because you'll just have to do it again. I can tell you when I go and travel with my carry camera or I carry my medium format camera, while I took an easier picture with the carry camera, I'm often disappointed that I didn't bring that medium format camera with me. So there's nothing like the dynamic range, right, of a medium format camera. There just isn't, and we have them all here to pick off the shelf, and so we absolutely know. And so I'd like to open this up to questions from attendees. Now I think the cameras are back. Not that you want to see me, so I apologize that you have to see me, but I will try to see if I can go into audio and get into here for questions. So attendees, if you'd like to type questions or if you'd like to raise your hand or turn your audio on and ask a question, please feel free to jump in and do so. Okay, other than
Hi, this is Jacob Uchowski from St. Louis. Olaf, dzień dobry. Bardzo fajnie, że następny Polak jest tutaj. So anyway, I just wanted to thank both you and Dave. I wanted to thank you for both supporting Get DPI, Medium Format Magazine. I enjoy both, and it's been terrific listening to this and getting all the information from both sources. And I look forward to seeing Elements Magazine down the road.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it for your support. And I have to add, it was so cool to hear Polish. Of course, other people don't understand, but I want to say thank you so much for listening to my perfect Eastern European accent. I have been practicing this all my life, and I'm getting better and better with my accent. Okay, so I really appreciate it. In fact, I have an English editor that I work with. She's responsible for our magazine, and she's teaching me the right kind of tonality of language. And she said, Olaf, you're just lost cause. Like that's it. I cannot teach you anymore. So she just gave up. And especially when I get nervous, I have presentations. her teachings and the right pronunciations of words just goes out of the window. So I hope everybody can understand me well, but it's been always something that I guess I have to live with for the rest of my life, and just be proud of it.
You know, so I moved to the US in 1986. I was also born in Poland. And when I give talks at various conferences and such, there's no question that my Polish accent comes out. So I can totally empathize.
Oh, you are perfect. No problem. You are perfect. Oh gosh, I wish I could speak like that.
And Jacob, thank you very much for being a customer. We very much appreciate it, and thank you for being here. Anybody else have a question?
So let me ask everybody a question then.
All right.
So if you could share with us, I think we all know that this year was very challenging for most of us, okay? It was very difficult year. But would you mind sharing with us one thing that that this year taught you, or something positive, something that we could take into 2021 and kind of run with it, okay? So something positive, mostly about photography, but feel free to share anything. I would love to hear from you.
Something positive for me, I will tell you that it has been wonderful to spend more time with my kids, right? And so getting to spend more time with the family is not a bad thing. And so I'm very, very happy with what that has brought me this year and what we're going to continue to do with family. And so if you want, I will unmute all, and everybody should have the ability to unmute. And so you have the ability to turn your, you should have the ability to turn your microphone on and off now.
You know, so
Hello?
Yes. Well, Michael Moore said, never, never, never give up. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And so that's what he's taken away. One said that I found out that I really had found where my passion is, and my passion in portrait photography. And I'm very sorry that I can't pronounce that name. Harold Ross learned that beauty is everywhere.
I'm Johannes. I'm Johannes from Belgium. Hello, Olaf.
Hello,
We can hear
hi,
you.
how are you?
Johannes. So, well, I tried, like I just mentioned, I tried still lifes, I tried landscapes, but I'm still getting back to portrait photography. And right now in Belgium, we're restricted on photographing people, and that's really painful. So the moment we can start over again photographing people, I have lots of ideas to just get into portrait photography again. And I'm really inspired by the work you do, Olaf.
Thank you
And
so
really, you
much.
should continue the way you're doing. You're really inspiring me, and I
Oh,
thank you for that.
thank you so much. It means a lot to hear that. And if I could add to your excellent comment, we all agree that this is challenging. This was challenging year, but at the same time, very often, and it comes from my earlier story when I was sick, very often difficult times allows you to clear your head in a certain sense and give you perspective, what you want from life, but also if we jump to photography, what you want to do with your photography. Like when I look at the medium format magazine, me as a decision to start in photography, all these decisions were made during a crisis. So maybe this year was this great opportunity for us to look at our lives and decide, okay, that's when I'm going to pour my heart in next year. Just a thought.
Hey, Dave,
Yes.
you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, you may not be getting any questions because I try to enter a question. I am unable to type in this dialogue box.
kidding.
I went out to work.
What's the name?
I went out to Word and verified. I'm Billy Walker.
No, Billy, I haven't seen any comments come through. Strange, huh? I've seen other comments and
Yeah,
questions, but nothing from you. Go ahead, Billy.
I verified that I'm able to type into Word, so my keyboard's working fine. It's just we're unable to type into this dialog box. What I was going to say, basically, I think it was Olaf was speaking about the experience of going out and setting up the tripod and everything, and I just think that's a very true statement. If you're into the photography thing, it's enjoyable to actually go out and physically do that type of stuff as part of the image taking.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank
And
you
Olaf, we can understand you perfectly, by the way.
Wow. You know what? You cannot imagine. Like my wings are already like. So I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Could you do that again? What are they like?
No. You can talk to
Did you
Disney,
learn? Did you
okay?
learn that from a Victoria's Secret girl?
Oh, gosh.
Well, Scott Loudon said that this year he's learned that he can make great images with less. John Slump, perseverance, but I think somehow John Slump has always had perseverance. Martin Knowles, I also rediscovered a focus on craft in the midst of the business craziness. Excellent. And Joshua Stedman, I've learned to just keep moving. I look my ego and turned it down and made this year about my family, not about work, which makes my work just a little bit better in my opinion. So that's wonderful.
Wow. Beautiful.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a comment. This
Mr.
is Rob
Klukas?
Lucas. My friend Barbara Davidson, who won a Guggenheim in 1920, 2019, 2020, she was doing a project on victims of gunshot, these mass shootings in the country, but that got cut down, with, she was shooting them on 8x10, by the way, cameras. But then we all got kind of confined, and she lives in Los Angeles, and she went out and found a background, and she would park her car in front of this, I think it was a door of some kind, and people walking by, she would ask them to pose, and she took pictures of them in front of this door with their masks on and their whatever clothing they were wearing. And as soon as I saw the first 3 or 4, I said, there's a book coming here. And she got published 2 weeks ago in Washington Post magazine. And she's been published a lot, but it just proves that photographers that have to photograph, and they'll find a way even in this situation. And she shot them in medium format, by the way, with X1D Hasselblad. But she also got shoved by some police and had a concussion and smashed the camera and had to get it repaired during some of those riots in the LA area. But, if you have to photograph, you just feel like you have to photograph, whether you're going to do still lifes in the house or whatever. So I really appreciate the magazine and all the support that Dave gives his customers as well. But the magazine is a real great platform for everyone to see good photography, and especially good photography made with the best equipment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Rod. I have to tell you though, on our end, we're an incredible team here. I don't like to hear my name as much, other than we have Steve Hendricks, who is about as honest and a true person as you're ever going to meet in life, and Chris Snipes, who loves and breathes it and has passion. Brad Kay, who is as knowledgeable as a person as I've ever met. So we have an amazing team here.
You do, and Steve and I talk a lot.
So I'm very proud to be just a part of that.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Rod.
Thank you for sharing.
So Carlos has said, I've been busy in front lines as a provider of emergency medical services at the worst of the pandemic. My photography has changed focus as a result. I can imagine what you've seen and what you've been a part of, that it has changed you, and it would definitely change your eye and your feel and your photography. So we have about 5 or so more minutes. If anyone else wants to add in, we've kept a great group, and for all those who still attended, we'll have capture 30 as a discount for all the people that are still here, right, Olaf?
Well, I'm really afraid, like, don't extend it for the next 20 minutes because it will be like 0 soon. Just kidding. Of course. You know what? It's just like one of the biggest thing that I'm grateful for doing this magazine with my team is meeting last year, mostly e-meeting, but still knowing all of you. And this is the biggest prize for me because, I have met and e-met and over telephone so many amazing photographers, human beings. It's you want to wake up in the morning and just do it because you know that today you will meet another person that is just will lift you up, will hold you, and just motivate you. So thank you for every comment, every note, everything you do, because I think it's so crucial to stay connected.
Olaf, on that comment, honestly, I think that's a great place to end it because that is a great way to sum up our last 75 minutes together. For all those people that are still here and members of Get DPI, subscribers of MediaFormat.com and magazine, and for our customers of Capture Integration, I want to truly thank everyone for coming today and being a part of this. We are here for you. I'll raise that glass one more time and say cheers. It's been a long happy hour. It's been a long 2020. Here's to a very happy and healthy holiday season for everyone. And I'm very much looking forward to a new year and a new start for many, many different reasons. So Olaf, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your partnership with us. We're thrilled to be a part of it. And I'm ready to close. Any closing comments, Olaf?
Well, thank you so much for participating. I wish everyone a wonderful, inspiring, and eventful 2021. By what I mean by eventful is that you will pursue everything you dream to pursue in the next year, and have a great holidays, happy new year, and I hope to see or meet you soon.
And honey, I'm on my way home. Everybody, good night. Take care.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.